So I went and saw the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, and do you want to know what I thought of it? I thought it was horribly entertaining. Yeah, the film sucked. It wasn't good in the slightest, but it was easily one of, if not the best cinema experiences I've ever had. I don't think I've seen that many people watching a film since Avengers Endgame, which says a lot. What's even funnier is Matt Pat saying that's just a theory in the film got more of an audible reaction than that one Captain America scene with Thor's hammer in Endgame. I'm not even kidding here. Matt Pat was more hype than that shit. I watched the film before any of the critic reviews came out, and I'm really not surprised it got the score it got. Like I said, it's not a good film by any means, but a bad film can still be enjoyable, which this film definitely is, but only if you're into the source material, or you find Freddy Fazbear funny. I laughed every time he was on screen. I wouldn't be surprised if I pissed off some people in the cinema that day. Before I get into why I enjoyed the film, I just want to apologize to my friend Joe, who I made wear this hoodie while watching the film. No, scratch that. I made him put it on before we even got to the cinema, so he had to walk all the way there through a shopping center filled with people while wearing it. Someone did compliment the hoodie before the film started though, so that's something, I guess. Anyway, the Five Nights at Freddy's movie is a giant piece of shit that I loved every second of. It was a film that was made by people who clearly respected the source material, which you can't say for a lot of video game films. Blumhouse did an amazing job here, especially with the prop design. All of the animatronics were practical. There was absolutely no CGI used for them, and it really paid off. The sets are incredible too. Well, I say sets, I do just mean the pizza place itself, which is based off of the original location from the first game. The best one. Can't disagree with me here, it is the best FNAF game. The actors did a pretty good job too, especially the actor for Mike, who has had a very unfortunate track record in his acting career. I swear to God, if I see another fucking video of him jacking off one more time. The actor for Vanessa was good too, although the one scene where there's a close-up of her face is just, who the fuck thought this was a good idea? The actors for the kids were pretty good too, but all credit here has to go to Doug the lawyer. Top tier actor right here. He does such a good job at constantly looking uncomfortable. Like, he just looks like he shit himself and he's just sat in the filth letting it soak into his skin without trying to get caught doing so. Oscar worthy performance right here. I'm not even joking, give this man an award. A big complaint towards the film is the fact it's rated PG-13 in America, which is actually a complaint I had before I went to watch the film. But don't let it fool you, some of the gore and deaths genuinely surprised me, especially the one with Freddy and that one woman.
Was that the bite?
A lot of the deaths were censored, which was expected because of the rating, but there's a part near the end where it just shows all the victims who died with no censorship, and it's pretty fucked up. It's gory. I wasn't expecting it. When the film wanted to make the animatronics threatening and intimidating, it did a very good job at doing so, although that might just be my bias towards my fear of animatronic characters. They're just freaky things, man. I don't know what to say. I don't know how you Americans can like them. There were so many references that only die-hard losers would get, like me. I've literally been there since the beginning, and the fact that Sparky the dog was in the film just baffled me. Sparky the fucking dog. You know, the animatronic myth that people claimed was a hidden character in the first game back in 2014 that would sometimes appear on the cameras randomly. Shit, I remember believing that he was real back then. I was 13 at the time. It's almost been 10 years. Well, now he's real. He's canon. Shadow Freddy is also in the same spot as him for some reason, because why the hell not? He's canon too. I mean, he was always in the game. I don't know what I'm talking about. Now, the story of the film is just not very good, and it does feel like it happens very quickly. But to give the writers some credit, how the fuck are you supposed to write a film for a game where the gameplay is just checking cameras and closing doors? I mean, it's still a dumb story though, regardless, even if they did try. It takes some plot points from the game and changes them slightly. Like how the first victim of William Afton is no longer Charlie, Henry Emily's daughter. Instead, his first victim is Garrett, who was Michael's younger brother, which means Michael isn't related to William, and his brother wasn't the victim of the Bite of 83 anymore, which just creates a lot of questions. Then there's the plot twist that Vanessa is actually William Afton's daughter and she's been helping him this whole time, and it's implied she knows the children who were murdered and put in the animatronic suits, which is why they aren't hostile towards towards her. William Afton was also kind of underused during the film too. Don't get me wrong, his screen time was amazing, and I do think the scene where he gets spring locked was good, albeit a bit underwhelming. It just happens way too quickly. Like, you see him beating up Mike and then you blink and he's dying and going,
I always come back.
Which was also said way too quickly. I still laughed when he said it though. This series is so stupid. A huge plot point of the film is Mike being haunted by the memory of his brother Garrett being kidnapped. He constantly has nightmares about what happened, and when he eventually gets the job as the night guard at Freddy Fazbear's, the dead children start to infiltrate his dreams and harass him, until the point where the kid who is supposed to be Golden Freddy makes him an offer of letting him stay in a perfect version of the dream where Garrett was never kidnapped, if he lets them have his younger sister Abby, who has a weird unexplained connection to the children. And because of this, it allows for the scene where they end up building a fort together because they're friendly towards her, which is the most controversial scene in the entire film. It is genuinely a really stupid section, but I guess it makes sense because, well, the animatronics are just confused children. And the film does do a decent job at showing this with this scene, but the issue is, I'm not sure they really needed to show it, as it takes away a lot of the fear factor from the animatronics. They're only friendly to Abby though because they're under the control of William Afton because of an image on the wall, which results in the animatronics trying to put Abby in an animatronic suit so she can join them. The fucking image plot point is stupid too, as the animatronics only turn on William once Abby draws an image of them being murdered by him and putting it on the wall. It's really stupid, man. It's so dumb. Then there's the side characters, who are all equally underdeveloped. Apart from Doug, of course, my beloved. There's Mike's auntie, who wants custody of Abby because she claims he's unfit to look after her, as he can't hold down a job, and he beat the shit out of a guy in his last one. Which leads into Abby's babysitter Max and her crew being tied to the auntie as she makes a deal with them to make Mike lose his current job as the night guard at Freddy Fazbear's. She tells him to break in during the day and fuck the place up, which makes no sense because Mike is a night guard. Why would he be blamed for what happens during the day? Anyway, they break in and what happens is probably my favorite part of the film, where each one is picked off one by the animatronics. And of course, it all ends with Max the babysitter getting... It's probably one of the only sections where the animatronics feel like horror antagonists in the film, which the film lacked quite a lot of. I mean, most of the animatronics don't even do that much. The only two that actually do anything are Foxy and the fucking Cupcake. The Cupcake literally carries the film. It has the highest kill count out of all of them, I swear to God. It's like most of them can't be arsed with their killing job and just send out the Cupcake to do their murderous bidding. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't expecting the FNAF VHS tape levels of horror here, but I was expecting a bit more from the animatronics killing people. We don't even see anything relating to the iconic game over screen from the original game where you're stuffed into the animatronic suit. The only hint and reference we get is this weird mechanism in the back of the pizza place, which I have no idea why this thing is even here. We do get to see the night guard's fate to this thing though. In fact, the entire opening was pretty cool and really does harken back to the original game. It's just a shame that the night guard wasn't Markiplier like he was originally gonna be. Despite its blatant flaws, I really enjoyed the FNAF movie. Like, I enjoyed it a lot. It's easily the best cinema experience I've ever had. I'm incredibly happy that the film has done as well as it has because this means we are most definitely going to get a sequel, which I will 100% be going out of my way to watch in cinemas again. Oh, and next time, I'll be the one wearing the hoodie to see the film.